weeks ago, I went into the office to work on this project that I've been working on for a while. It was pretty important for me to get it done. So I go and I load up my computer and I notice 20 new emails that popped up. 10 of them have a red exclamation mark on them. And you're thinking, boy, that's a lot of important emails. So momentarily, I get a little bit distracted and I'm glancing at them. And while I'm glancing at them, my boss, Jane, she calls me. So I pick up the phone, I say, hey Jane, how's it going? We exchange formalities, and we talk for a bit. A few minutes into the conversation, another boss calls me. It's Matt. Obviously, I can't hang up on Jane to talk to Matt, so I have to kind of let it ring. And I kid you not, at that same moment, a coworker of mine pops into my office, interrupts me and says, hey Sean, I need your help really quick. I need to get this thing out by 12 p.m. Can you help me out? And I'm saying, yeah. Just give me a second. So I go back to talking to Jane, hang up, about to call Matt back, and he's already sent me an email. So within the first 30 minutes of work, I already have a litany of tasks to do. And I sit back and I think, boy, what was I working on? What was my main objective for the day? How many of you in here have ever had that feeling where you just lost track of what your main objective was for the day? With modern day society, it's easy to get lost. You have your coworkers, you have your boss, friends, family, unplanned events. All these things at times can distract you and pull you away from what your main objectives are. But what if I told you there was a way to change that? And there was a system that you could employ to help you get more done, but not necessarily doing more, but by focusing on the right things. That system I'm talking about is the one thing. And it was pioneered by Gary Keller in his book called The One Thing. And as you can imagine, the book is about productivity. It's about doing the right things, putting first things first, getting them out of the way so you get more done, you feel more accomplished, you have less stress, and you get more stuff done. So you may be wondering, what is the one thing? And how do I come up with it? Well, first, the one thing is the task that takes up 20% of your efforts, yet accomplishes 80% of your results. Now, no, I didn't say all of your day, only 20% of your day, but it's that task that has the most pound-for-pound impact. It's the task that's going to leave you the most fulfilled at the end of the day. Now, how do you come up with the one thing? Well, you ask yourself questions, because questions can often lead to answers. First, you need to know what your goals are. What are your key drivers in life? What gets you up in the morning? So a goal for me is become financially independent, retire, have the ability to retire by the time I'm age 40. You then want to get some of those goals and you want to make them your bigger picture goals. That's kind of your target, your big picture goals. You then want to take those bigger picture goals and make them more specific. So take my bigger picture goal, retire by the time I'm 40. And then I ask myself, what is the one thing that I can do within the next 5 years? Become a portfolio manager at U.S. Trust. What's the one thing that I can do this year? Join the Interactive Analyst Program. What's one thing I can do in 6 months? Pass CFA Level 2. 1 month. Study 40 hours. What's one thing I can do this week? Study 10 hours. What's one thing that I can do right now? Study an hour. So you take your bigger picture goals and you progressively make them more specific and more relevant to the now. So I want you to take a second and I want you to think about, what is the one thing that you can do right now, and that by doing it, it'll make everything else easier or unnecessary? Now hold that thought. Think about it for a bit. Latch on to it. Let that drive your actions going forward. And hopefully you got a little bit from what I was talking about, and you too can find your one thing. And next, I would like to talk about, it's 2 speeches.
Excellent. Thank you so much.